Hello and welcome everyone to tonight's virtual reception for Vibrant Flora presented by Photo Art Pavilion. I'm so happy you could join us live this evening. We'll be celebrating incredible photography from talented artists across the country, all centered around the vibrant beauty of Flora. Tonight's event will also feature an open mic portion given during the awards winner, the award winner at the end, basically, so we can hear from the winners about their work. We would love to hear a few words from them. So settle in, relax, and let's enjoy an inspiring night of art together. If you're new to Photo Art Pavilion, welcome. Photo Art Pavilion is a women-owned and women-operated business dedicated to supporting fine art photographers in today's digital world. Our website, photoartpavilion.com, is a national curated marketplace built exclusively for fine art photographers and art buyers. We provide photographers with opportunities to develop professional online galleries, deliver a clean, elegant shopping experience for their art buyers and collectors, or what we like to call the 3Fs, family, friends, and fans, and offer educational services designed to help photographers grow their art business. Hi, my name is Jessica Lempin, co-founder and COO of Photo Art Pavilion, and I also had the pleasure of serving as juror for tonight's exhibit. Joining me later this evening will be my amazing business partner, Joanne Hennig, the CEO of Photo Art Pavilion. Joanne will help me announce tonight's awards a little later in the program. So a little bit about me. As a photographer myself, I'm deeply passionate about artistic expression, creating opportunities for emerging talented artists to shine. I've always believed that photography has the power to transform the ordinary into something extraordinary. And that's exactly what we're celebrating tonight. Tonight's virtual exhibit, Vibrant Flora, presents a breathtaking collection that celebrates the color, texture, and diversity of nature's blooms through the eyes of talented photographers. Each image invites us to pause to really see the detail, the light, and the life within the frame. This exhibit is an exploration of how nature can awaken the senses and inspire creativity in all of us. Let's take a journey together and celebrate the power of contemporary art photography in full bloom. Before we begin showcasing the art, I just want to say this was a very, very difficult show to jury. The photographers who entered this open call did not hold back whatsoever. Every submission had heart, composition, and incredible creativity. You all truly made my job challenging in the best possible way. Tonight's exhibit features 50 stunning floral photographs created by 47 artists representing 17 states across the US. Just wow, that's amazing. And here we are all in the same virtual room. If your art made it into tonight's show, you should be very proud of yourself. Each piece here tonight earned its place. With that said, let's jump in and enjoy the art of Vibrant Flora. So first up is Poppies Intertwined by Charlotte. This caught my eye between the detail of those fine little hairs, the bold color of that first little bloom trying to come out of its seed. It was stunning, absolutely stunning. The details, the background, I love that it was presented on the black. It really helps the color itself pop. And the little hairs definitely caught my eye. So this to me stopped me when reviewing the art. And I also want to say, when reviewing the art for any of our virtual open calls, it's blind. We have no idea who shot what. It is fully just about the art itself. Moving forward, we have Lonely Daisy by Terry. I love this. I'm assuming this was the artist used a lens baby. If not, it was definitely a well done capture showing the color, the motion behind the flower, creating that ICM, if you will, while allowing the flower to be fully sharp and bold and beautiful. That center with the robust yellow inside, it's just fantastic. And then you have the stem creating those leading line into the scene. Well done. Next, we have Passion Tendril by Dennis. This is just amazing. I love the soft hue in the background. It really allows the flower to stand out. The ICM of the petals is fantastic. So, intentional camera movement is ICM, in case anyone isn't aware. Um, the having the center of the flower in focus there. So, obviously, this is, I'm assuming, multiple captures, which is then put together to create the one composition. And I love the overlaying of it all. Very well done. So this caught my eye just because it is beautiful. Sunflowers in the Wind by Kathy. It's a very simple photo. You know, you're out in the fields, you see the flowers. It's a bunch of sunflowers, and I like the story behind it. You know, I just see the moment in time, being able to see the different flowers together. There's a bee in there. The vibrancy of the yellow compared to the green petals. This did catch my eye during the jurying process. Next is Dahlia in the Sunshine by Mary. Oh my goodness. The details, the coloring, the rays of light coming into the petals. It almost seems like the flower itself has this internal light to it. It just stopped me when reviewing the art. Loving the way it was cropped to a 1-to-1 ratio. It really allows for that flower to command the scene. And the rays of light do add that leading line in. Next is a homage to Georgia O'Keeffe version 2 by Donna. Loving the soft background with also that sharp, crisp white curvature of the line. And yes, when we talk about this exhibit, it's all about the vibrancy, and almost like this white just stands out compared to the rest of the scene itself. It has that vibrancy within it, that energy in it. Definitely well done. I do see, obviously, it's a like almost a replica or the same styling as a Georgia O'Keeffe print. Very well done. Love it. Next, we have Sunflower with Dewdrops by Heidi. This is just bold. Love how the artist framed the scene, from having that center of the sunflower just in that little portion of the corner, and really making this a little bit more interesting. Instead of just having the sunflower take over the whole frame, you're taking a quarter of it. And having the details of the center along with the petals and the dewdrops on those petals is just, it's fantastic. And then that sharp blue of the sky behind it really allows for that yellow just to pop in the scene. Next, we have Center of Attention by Rocky. Looking at the colors, the red of the stamen with that yellow pollen right there. That's really what the focus of the scene is that one little section of the flower, and the rest of it fills the space. So having that that vibrancy, that detail in that little section definitely caught my eye during the review process. Next, we have Bronze by Barbara. Oh my goodness, the textures, the colors, the motion within the scene of this frame, sorry, this composition is just beautiful. The black background really allows for that vibrancy of the flower to come through. Just the movements alone, the shadows in this, the textures. It is a photograph. It was then, added a filter over it to give it this effect. And it really is just a stunning piece. Next, we have oh my goodness, Bignonia Montage by Nicole. This is an ICM, so intentional camera movement shot, or it could be several photographs, which is then compiled within camera. It's a different type of technique, and I forget the name right offhand. Either way, very unique abstract piece of the flowers. Loving the different layers, the different textures within them. It really creates a little bit more of an intrigue within the scene itself in the image. Next, we have Mandela Return Sumac by Rosalie. I thought this was interesting. As a photographer, this isn't something I would typically do, which is why I like it. It definitely shows the creativity. with the leading lines coming in with the branches and then leading you into mandala. It's a pretty interesting styling and way to have this put together for the composition. So well done, caught my eye. Next we have Dewy Petals by Kathy. Great shot. You see the nice textures within the petals, the overlaying of each petal, the details of the center of that flower, the vibrancy of the colors throughout. It's definitely an interesting capture of that center of the flower. Next, we have Radiance Reversed by Ingrid. I love a unique capture of a flower, and to me, everyone's taken photos of the front of the flowers, and to be able to have that light coming through the petals and seeing the reverse with the details, it's very interesting to me, and it changes things up a bit. I like that your background is fully blurred out. You're not able to take in anything else, and it really, the flower just commands the scene, that energy and vibrancy. Next, we have After the Rain by Kelly. This is such a stunning low light capture with the detail behind it, all in that brown, mossy kind of tone. The yellow of these flowers definitely stand out. Having the water drops on them adds a little bit more texture and interest. The way it was captured is interesting too. Instead of having it as a landscape or horizontal scene, having it in the vertical format definitely helps the scene itself. Um, it's just caught my eye. Next, we have Silk Tree Supernova by Garrett. Quite interesting. I'm not sure exactly what I'm looking at flower-wise, but the coloring, the vibrancy, it is a busy scene, but it's very fitting for tonight's exhibit. You have these beautiful bursts of color. It's almost like fireworks with flowers. It's very, very interesting to me. My eyes keep poking around and jumping around throughout the scene. So you definitely have the movement going on within this frame. Next, we have Tulip by David. It's a pretty stunning shot. Loving that the artist used the same color as the tulip itself for the backgrounds with that pop of light behind it. Definitely allows for this tulip to just shine and that vibrancy take over throughout between the flower of the the petals, the stem itself, and also that background. Just well done. I mean, details alone too. If you follow the stem up into the petals, it's just your eye just keeps moving throughout the scene. Well done. Next is Hibiscus Stamen by Richard. This is such a great technical shot. So to have the entire flower and the stamen in focus, this is definitely a stacked image, meaning that the photographer took several images of different sections in focus and put them together during processing. Just well done. The lighting is great. The texture throughout, the yellow against the red in the scene looks very, very good. And again, a black background just helps add that vibrancy, that darkness of the flower. Next is Sundew by Diana. This is interesting. I'm not quite sure what kind of flora I'm looking at, but having these little tentacles on, to me, I think it's a sea pod. Having the tentacles on the sea pod with those little dots, the little dew dots, is just quite interesting. You have such vibrancy between the greens to the reds and so on throughout the scene. It's a very, very interesting capture. Next, we have A Universe Inside an Oriental Poppy by Lily. I don't quite know what I'm looking at floral-wise, other than maybe inside the poppy itself. And it's just, to me, interesting. The textures, the colors, like look at those light pinks to the dark purples, the different textures. It's like you definitely are in a different universe. So well done with the title. In the leading line, so in that top right corner, you have that dark shadow that pulls you into this, and then the different layers of textures, and it's almost like a ring around the universe. Well done. Next is Hydrangeas and Cornflower Multiply by Amy. Quite interesting, great abstract. Being able to put together these different flower elements and creating this unique composition. As a photographer myself, this is not something I would typically do, which is why it caught my eye. The colors that are popping, the vibrancy, it makes you kind of fall into the scene and really explore the different elements that are being used in here. Next, we have Petunia's Bicycle by Sandra. Loving that it's not just the flower in the scene, it's like a whole story going on. But these petunias are just like taking over this white bike, which is quite beautiful. The boldness of those flowers really command the overall scene. The bike helps tell the story. And to me, it was definitely an interesting capture or different art that was added to this exhibit. Next is All Dressed Up by Holly. Quite stunning. Having the flower bloom in such a way, so now here you are, eye level, looking at that center of the flower and the dark green behind it really helps it stand out. I do wish we zoomed out just a smidge, but who knows what the rest of the scene looked like. But loving the different details, the textures going on, and those shadows at the bottom just help balance out the overall frame. Next is Bird of Paradise Inverted by Tamari. Interesting. The colors in this, the lines, it's unexpected, right? It's an unexpected beauty. So having the stem of that flower coming up and over, you get the head of that flower, that bird effect of the flower itself. And having those colors inverted really changes this entire scene, which is quite interesting. Loving the background too. It's definitely a busy background against the flower that's busy, but it just the two of them work. So well done. Next we have Inside the Petals by Jack. It's like a secret, like coming into the scene. You have these little itty bitty bits of the center of the flower and you're coming into it. The yellow fades, or at least the detail fades around it. And it's like you've been invited into this little area. So for that and the way this was captured, it caught my eye. The boldness and brightness of the yellow with that, the orange in the center was really well done. I also like that the pop of shadow at the bottom corner, it kind of anchors you in the scene. It anchors the eye in this frame. Next, we have Shy by Pam. Technically, great shot. It looks like focus stacking was used to be able to get all of that in focus. The water drops on the back of the flower. Again, I was talking about the sunflower before and having the back of the scene or the back of the flower being the subject matter, which is quite interesting and unique compared to everything else in the show, right? We all want to see the flower itself, the beauty of the front of the flower. But to show the details, the color variance of the back is quite interesting. I thought it was interesting too, having the leading line in the top left corner coming down into the scene and almost having the petal itself or the flower's petals, almost like dripping off as if it's coming off the stem, just like the water drops. So well done. Next is Dancing in the Wind by Courtney. Beautifully handled. It's to me whimsical with the way the petals are in focus and then not in focus. It's like it's playing with you. The brightness of that yellow coming in the center, right? It's all about vibrancy with this. So colors, colors, colors. And the opposing color wheel is always great. So having that yellow pop with the purple really works well. And having the background soft enough so that it's not fighting the center of that flower is great. So well done. Next, we have Entangled by William. This is great too. Having that dark versus light, so that juxtaposition as far as your colorings in this composition, it's a good balance. Well, at least to me, it's a good balance. Having more dark than light as far as that yellow pop in the middle. It really helps that yellow center truly stand out. All those different little purple petals around the frame kind of lead your eye into the center. So everything's kind of moving together. So well done with that capture and getting in there. Next, we have the approach by Kurt. Quite fascinating. Trying to figure out if this is two different flowers or if it's one flower and then split and put together. But either way, it's such a unique capture compared to other stances with having the two petals and filling the frame as such he did. So well done. You got the beautiful coloring with the yellow popping through in those petals and just connects you, moves you through the scene. And they're not really fighting each other. That's the other thing too, right? With photography, if you're having a main subject and to be able to have that one subject stand out, these, for whatever reason, don't battle each other. They just kind of work together in this overall scene. Next is Flora in Your Dreams Too by Gil. Definitely a unique take, very outside my wheelhouse, which is great. Having the colors inverted, just like that other scene, is quite interesting. It gives a different take and a different feel for the overall flower itself. Definitely a creative take on a flower. Love this. Good Hair Day by Dennis. So having the leading line of that little vine coming through and then having the reflection in the water drops of the flowers behind it. Definitely an interesting capture, great technique going through. Love the boldness going on between the battle of the purple and the green, and your eye just kind of moves through and it's like checking out the flowers. It's all the same flowers, but all represented differently in each little water drop. So interesting take. Next, we have Sherbert Sunset by Isla. And this is such a great capture. So here you have the predominant scene is this flower, assuming it's a hibiscus from what I can tell. And overlaid is a sunset scene, and the colors just merge and dance and really tells this unique story, right? Sherbet Sunset. It's really interesting to me. And I love you could see the palm trees coming through into the petals. It's different take. Next, we have Bunches of Zinnias by Susan. This is great. So a classic floral capture of like a bouquet or in a flower shop and having the different types of flowers in the scene. Everything's kind of balanced and going on where, you know, here you have this bold yellow flower in the foreground, and then you have the pop of yellow within the flower next to it. And it just kind of all works together and moves your eye up into the scene. So well done, Susan. Next, we have Rosie Natal Grass Flower by Karen. Loving this little spiky plant. It's fantastic. So, you know, uniqueness on the plant itself, great coloring going on, the way the plant is coming through on the scene and the way the photographer shot this and allowing that background to be fully blurred so that this way that section of that flower, that plant is able to stay in focus is fantastic. And then the different pops of the color going through, it's almost, again, like a firecracker going off in flowerland. So interesting and well done. Next, we have Hyacinthia's Rose by Nicole. And this to me was definitely an interesting take. You have the vibrancy of the fields, right? So now we've gone in the center of the flowers, stepping out, and then now we have these fields of flowers, which I think is interesting to be able to have in this exhibit. So having the rows of color of flowers and the leading lines coming through is just really interesting. And the way the photographer had the center of the frame, just about center of the frame, having it with the row of the both colors is quite interesting to me. I don't know, this one caught my eye. I like this one. Next, we have Perfection in Coral by Renee. I love this. This is romantic. You have the beautiful coloring of these flowers that are overlaid on a looks like a handwritten note of some sort, and having the different elements put through a different take. It's storytelling, and to be able to have a creative, different take on a floral capture. Well done. Quenched by Robert. So again, jumping in, seeing the different veins in this one is quite interesting. The darkness in that bottom with the green area anchoring the overall scene. Again, this is like a quarter of the flower, so a different way to photograph it. Having that darkness balance out in that center of the flower, so either corner, so the left, top left, and the bottom right, really anchoring the scene and creating the motion with those veins all the way through. So great leading lines throughout. Interesting texture and color going on. And of course, you have a vibrant color palette here. Next, you have Cone Flower Detail by Becky. Great capture, pulls you in. Those happy yellow leaves with just the right lighting, creating that texture. The shadows are perfect. I like how the color is in the bottom of your scene and not just throughout. And then having the darkness on top changes the balance of the overall composition. So well done. And then that little flower in the back, it's almost like you just swim through into it. Encompassing Beauty by Anita. Oh my goodness. So assuming ICM, I could be wrong. It could be multiple frames within, and then put together as one capture. But the beauty, the dance of this, that boldness of the flower, the overall scene is super light and almost fragile like, and then you have that bright boldness going on with those petals. It just pulls you in. It's just such a beautiful motion going on within this scene. So well done, Anita. Thistle and Meadowlark by Cara. This is quite interesting. It kept pulling my eye for this one. There's a lot going on in this scene, so definitely different compared to the rest of the exhibit. You have that bright purple within the main photo within the photo. So you have the bright purple flowers in there that do stand out. You have interesting details of the birds looking at the flower. And then you have the gold flower or plant life around the photo, which is interesting too. So definitely interesting composition all around. It caught my eye. I love the creativity. And again, something as a photographer myself, not something I would typically do, which is why I see it as a refreshing styling. Next, you have Peace Lily by Craig. My goodness. The overall scene, that darkness, the like hidden beauty, really, right? So you have these dark leafy petals going around, or leaves go around this beautiful flower. The white flower encompassing that stemma is just fantastic. You have these great shadows going on, the textures within, nicely done. And then that dark shadow coming up in between. So basically creating that leading line into the center. It's a nicely handled capture. Untitled 5 by Patricia. So I like the idea of the contrast here. So you have these bold, vibrant flowers all around. They're orange and yellow, and then you have this pink flower that's opened, right? So it's almost like standing out in the crowd to me, this kind of capture. And I just like the motion or the storyline within it. So well done. Next, you have from the series Submerged Psychedelic Poppy by Barbara. It's interesting. You definitely have the robust coloring going on throughout this. I'm assuming it's smoke that's being pushed onto the petals or onto the flower. Kind of curious about this process, but loving the different uh, colors going through this, right? So you have like almost like a yellow smoke coming through into the scene. And then you have these pink and purple, even white smoke coming through onto the petals themselves. It's definitely interesting styling. Beautiful capture all around. Next, we have Beautiful Color by Mary. Loving the minimalism in this. Having that contrast of the blue against that orangey yellow of the petals, and then having that it's just that curve of that shadow just kind of pulls you in, and having those three little sections. So between the petal, the sky itself, that blue sky, and that shadow just creates this beautiful motion within the scene itself. So definitely a well handled minimal capture. Next is Prickly by Charlie. I thought this was fun. Liking how different this plant matter is compared to the rest, it stood out for me. Have seeing those swirls within the little cacti, and then having that little itty bitty flower on them is quite interesting. Being able to see the colors, the motion within each cacti, and then that shadow is nicely balanced all around. So well done. Next, we have Left Face by John. So, we've kind of seen it all through this exhibit so far, right? The up close, the behind the scenes of a flower, the abstract motions, and so on. And here's more of a traditional landscape capture of a field of flowers. And I love the setup of this. So, left face, the title now, now seeing the title with this is quite interesting. I just like that flower, the yellow flower in the foreground, just staring at you like, look at me. And then you have all the other flowers looking the other direction. And then your eye just moves through the scene up into the mountains with that sky. So a lot of vibrancy going on throughout the scene itself. The yellow flowers truly standing out and commanding the scene itself. So well done. Another fun one. Zanny Zinnias by Susan. Such a creative process here. So being able to create that abstract styling where you have the flowers over the flowers, right? So you have the large individual flowers placed within the scene, and then all these little ones put throughout. However, the process was, I like the end result where there's a lot going on in here. It is a busy scene, but it's kind of fun when you break it down per each big flower. And that's what caught my eye. And then that little like river of yellow flowers going up the right side. So interesting. It caught my eye. Next is The Last Dance of Light by Lori. And well handled with the light, capturing that the softness of this capture, this flower, and really kind of like falling into the scene. The shadows look really well as well. If you look in that bottom right corner and move your eye up, it's such a slight gradual motion of color. So well done. Next is Flora 2 by Barry. Um, liking the pattern really in this scene. So you have that great color of that orange, the rich orange, the shadows and so on, and then going and moving into that lighter hue. And it just interesting capture. It caught my eye during the review process. And I like the little water drops too all over them. Another interesting one. From the series Submerged, Sunny ran Eucalyptus, forgive me on that, by Barbara. So this definitely is such a unique styling, just like that other one. I'm assuming this is smoke. I know there's another technique of having the flowers in water and then shooting like a colored ink or um, different dyes on the flowers themselves, but I'm assuming this is smoke the way the motions are. Liking how the flower itself stands out. The background is very interesting and just adds to the interest overall around for the composition itself. Well done. Colorado Blanket Flowers by Brian. So this caught my eye. It was kind of like the juxtaposition of the different stages of life, right? So you have um sorry. So you have the flowers that are starting to fade out, the flowers that are starting to bloom. If you look in that bottom left there, behind the main one in focus, it's like almost like a series of life itself. So that caught my eye. The coloring, the styling, and so on within the scene, the blurred background looks good, allowing those flowers to stand out. Oh, we got through this faster than I thought. Joanne. So that was our 50 images in the show itself. So now we're jumping into the awards portion of the night. Joanne, would you like to jump in? Is there
Yeah,
anything you'd like to
yeah, I'd
share?
like to just say a few words. First of all, fantastic summary, Jessica. I thought the entries were very amazing. Uh, Probably difficult for you to go through them all and figure out which ones stand out to make your top 50. There were some very amazing entries. I thought that the some of the entries I think would have been a little bit stronger if they were either cropped differently or if the artist were to play a little bit with some dodging, burning, contrast, just to pull light where light needs to be in order to bring that eye into the capture. Some of the entries, the lighting was a little bit too even across the flower, and I'm looking everywhere as opposed to having something pull me in. So in the future, artists, if you're continuing to move down the road of photographing florals, make sure you make use of light to direct your eye or direct the viewer's eye to where you want the eye to go. So I just that's my little critique, but I found that 99% of the images that were there, the creativity was totally shining through. I was totally captivated by the multiple exposure images and the layering. Those images I thought they were really creative, really outside the box. And the ICM, use of ICM, or um, if the camera's not moving, perhaps the wind blowing the floral as you're taking that photograph. I think that that's a really creative way to photograph flowers or florals. And also, I was really impressed with the macro work. The Some of them having really great depth of field where we have that blurred background so that we can separate the image, the floral, the subject from the background, or vice versa, where the depth of field was so wonderful that from the front to the back of that image, from the front to the back of that flower, it was in perfect focus. So photographing flowers, if you're on this meeting or this exhibit and you've never photographed a flower before, it's a challenge. It's a challenging thing to get to that sweet spot where you're playing with the depth of field and you're getting it right, and you're making it so that the interest remains with it within the subject as opposed to it, looking around for, where my eye needs to be. But kudos to you, Jessica, for going through all of those pieces, all of the artists, 47 plus artists involved in the show, and kudos to all of you artists who entered. Uh, I applaud you. Great work. Thank you.
Excellent. So well done. So now we're all here because we want to see who won. But in my eyes, everyone who entered, who was able to get into the show, fantastic. You guys have definitely stood out compared to the other art. So here we go. First up, an honorable mention goes to Shy by Pam. So again, having that unique capture of the back of the flower, seeing the veins there, the darker color in the center pulling out, the way it's handled, the focusing within this frame in this scene, the leading line into it definitely to me stood out. Um, I don't know if Pam is with us tonight and if she would like to say a few words about her capture. If
I'm
you're
here.
Oh, fantastic.
I'm here.
Congratulations.
Hi, Pam.
First of all, thank you so much. I'm for offering the opportunity to have a for us to show our artwork. But thank you for I'm honored that this received an honorable mention.
Fantastic.
Yeah, was I love the colors of the poppy, and I love the back of it, the pattern on the back, and I just called it shy because I felt like it didn't want to show its face. It was kind of turning away. Uh, the
I
droplets gave it texture, and I thought it was an interesting presentation to show the back instead of the front.
well, you handled it well. The
I like the
texture.
title. I the image to me, like the fact that the flower is pointing down and away, it's kind of like if you're shy, that's kind of what you would do, right? With your head.
Yeah,
So that it really is nicely titled and a really beautiful capture.
no, thank you.
Excellent. Well, thank you for sharing your beauty with us. Excellent.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Thank you.
All right. Next up, we actually have two honorable mentions for the show. So, second honorable mention goes to The Approach by Kurt. I just absolutely love how drawn in and unique this capture is. So having that negative space of the black really highlighting those two different petals that aren't quite competing, but they're balancing out each other. To me, I kept going back to this one. So congratulations, Kurt, for the honorable mention. I don't know if you're with us tonight. If you are, feel free to unmute and jump on in and let us know a little bit about your process.
I'm looking. I don't know if I see Kurt with us tonight.
All right.
I love this piece too, actually. Very unique for a floral entry and just a great perspective. I
Yes.
think, Jessica, you were saying, is it two of the same? Is
Yeah,
it
I
the same? But I don't think it is because I see some of the leaf, the petal on the left, the lower left, has a different, like the edges are different. So it
okay.
might be two flowers side by side.
Very well could be, and you saw the beauty between the two.
The mystery will remain.
Oh, well, well done, Kurt. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Kurt.
All right. Next, third place goes to Hibiscus Stamen by Rich. I don't know if Rich is with us, but beautiful detail. Such a great capture as far as having everything in focus in this in the scene. Definitely focus stacking. I'm sure it was used to be able to get this, the clarity, the sharpness. The lighting is great. The texture, the colors, the vibrancy throughout, which again is part of the theme. Definitely well done all around. And of course, the motion. So the way the flower is positioned, the stamen is the focus, and it like pulls you in. Quite
Mm.
interesting. So,
Yeah, this is what I was talking about with the use of light,
mhm.
right? So having the ability to put the light where you want your eye, the viewer's eye to go, and having the dark background. And again, great use of depth of field here, really focusing this flower from front to back mostly, and but using the light in just the right spaces to bring your eye to that the subject, that main point, the stamen. Nice work, Rich. I wish you were with us. He always has
Oh,
good commentary.
he does. Well, congratulations on getting third place. Now we're moving forward to second place. So second place goes to Passion Tendril by Dennis. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. So the soft hue in the background truly allows this flower to stand out. The technique used, the vibrancy or the energy of this capture, and from there the beautiful colors within. Just overall well done, quite interesting. I know I kept coming back to this one and it just kept getting my attention.
Mm.
I don't know, Joanne, if you want to add anything to this, and then we'll see if Dennis is in.
I think Dennis might be in the room with us.
Okay.
Dennis, are you there? I see a Dennis in the participant panel, but
Okay.
what I like about this is like I don't think this is ICM. I think this is the flower itself being blown around by the wind. Because if it was ICM, the center area would also be out of focus, right?
Yeah,
So
unless it was
yeah,
two captures.
something's going on that's blowing this flower around it, but the center area remains in focus. Could be stacked, could be multiple exposure,
Yeah.
layered in post production. Beautiful coloring as well. It's
Yeah.
very soft, very soothing. Just a very nice piece.
Yeah. And the energy behind it, to me, just it's like an energy
Congratulations, Dennis.
Yes. Congratulations. All right. Is everyone ready?
Ready?
All right.
So many tough ones. I don't know where you're going, but go for it.
First place goes to, from the series Submerged, Psychedelic Poppy by Barbara. And this, to me, the colors, the motion, the excitement within the scene, there's just some magic going on to me with this. So obviously your main subject is the flora in the middle. That coloring stands out of the petals, the darkness, but then you have this magical abstract element going all around the scene, just creating this energetic motion. Again, I'm assuming this is a smoke, right? Colored smoke painting the scene with the petals, with that flower, but I'm not quite sure. Anyway, Joanne, I don't know if you want to add your 2 cents on
I
the
know
overall.
Barbara, are you there? You want to jump in?
Yes, I'm here.
Hey, Barbara,
Fantastic! Congratulations on winning.
congratulations.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
It's actually not smoke.
Okay, what is it?
It's paint. Um, uh,
Okay.
I put the flowers in the aquarium and then I add paint to the water. And as the paint comes down, then I take the picture. So that's how
Wow.
I get all those colors.
Ah, amazing. Absolutely amazing. Well done. I like your choice of colors that you selected to paint with your flower.
That's
um, it's definitely a technique I have yet to do, and it just, to me, the overall beauty in this just stood out.
so,
Well, thank you
Barbara,
very much.
you also had another image in the exhibit. It looked like smoke. Was that also paint?
Yes.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
Interesting, right? We all learned something new.
That's
Or
that's
perhaps.
really amazing. What a great technique.
Well, thank you very much.
You're
You're
welcome.
welcome. Thank you. Thank you for your entry.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Love the creativity behind it. Fantastic. Yay, congratulations, Barbara. All right. So I just wanted to say congratulations to everyone, all the artists that have joined the open call, the ones that were able to make it into the show itself. I hope everyone that joined us tonight was able to enjoy the scenic views of all these different types of flora and shot in so many different ways, and the different techniques used and so on. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. I hope you enjoyed the little bit of a conversation at the end. The exhibit itself is live on our website, photoartpavilion.com, and you can see the link down there. We'll also have it in our YouTube and also in social media when we go to post everything, if you wanted to go and check it out on our website. And from there, artwork is available for purchase. If anyone is interested, just reach out to us. Our phone number is listed, 1-888-217-7748, or hello@Photo Art Pavilion. And if you want to continue any kind of conversation from tonight, definitely shoot us an email. We'll love to be able to hear from you. If you enjoyed it, if there's any other aspects you want to learn about and know about, we'll be able to help you with that. With that, thank you so much for being here with us. I appreciate your time and being able to hang out with us for almost an hour. Joy, I don't know if you want to add anything else.
Well, I just want to say good night to everybody. Have a great evening, and looking forward to seeing you at the next virtual exhibit reception, which is Seeing Red.